Hey, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about debt management and why it's important. I don't know if there's a lot of mixed opinions in this space. Myself, I prefer just sticking in the middle. It's up to you and how you managing your finances. Sometimes it depends. It depends. I'm not entirely sure if who I'm talking to. If a person knows what he's doing, right? If he knows how to make money, some of the people up there can manage not only their own capital, but if anything, let's stick to perhaps if it's 2% interest rate, perhaps they have access to a lot of capital up there, perhaps. But again, let's stick on the safe side, right? Let's start with your own money and how you managing your own money, and from there, perhaps down the line, we're gonna progress into perhaps other people's money, and we're gonna be looking at different areas, how potentially managing other people's that was lended to you and how to manage that money as well when you know or have a very good business model which works. It's been approved. You can introduce a lot of people to that business model which it works, and from there you can perhaps have access to a lot more capital. But if we're to begin, perhaps very simple general public where we can begin about where to begin with finances and managing debt, and where everyone starts. Debt management refers to the process of effectively managing and handling debt in a way that allows individuals, businesses, or governments to meet their financial obligations while minimizing negative impact on debt or their overall financial health. Even okay, let's take that. Proper debt management is essential to avoid financial stress, maintain a good credit score, and work towards long-term financial goals. So that would be some of the key areas. Perhaps having individual or business, perhaps most of the people will have access to that. And but overall, let's do an overview of who can put what kind of institutions, as well as individuals, can borrow money in the first place. Budgeting, create a detailed budget to track income and expenses, so the money coming in and going out. Yeah, a budget helps to understand your financial situation and allocate funds for debt repayments. So that would be a point one. Prioritization, identify and prioritize your debts, high interest debts in particular, such as credit card debts, which can be sometimes it will 20%. Some of the credit cards might be zero for up to the I don't know 24 months or so. So after 24 months, you might as well cancel that card because it would jump to 20%. It's gonna be too expensive. But again, what kind of contract you find yourself into, right? So perhaps worth reviewing, as well as do auditing, right, of your personal finances, and you skills that you would learn. You can progress in from personal to perhaps professional setting. So which accounting is very important, right? This is often referred to as a depth avalanche or depth snowball method. Yeah, again, so how much of your finances, even if we're going to be looking at some of the governments up there. Uh, I don't know if this information is accurate currently. Within the US government is 24%, all the GDP just covers a percentage of how much money has been borrowing. Places like I don't know if it's accurate information, right? Again, Pakistan would require third of its budget would be just to cover its debt, so about 33%. It's just because of what's happening, drought, or whatever case might be. People might not have that much access to different opportunities, right? So again, so this is, and they need food, water, electricity, all necessities, right? So whatever places might be, some of the governments would borrow on a high interest, right? Credit worthiness, credit score, all those areas, right? Negotiation. If you are struggling to make payments, contact your creditors. They may be willing to negotiate lower interest rates or modify the payment plans to make it more manageable. I haven't done it, but perhaps worth taking a look at different areas, different options, considering those options, and perhaps I don't know, just because of the region, right? So perhaps it within you can go say that it's bankrupt or something like that. I'm interested to find out all the situations. But what about student loans? Can you say that you're bankrupt and you cannot repay student loans? I'm interested to find out more information, and not necessarily. Just because of all the information that I have available, studying not only UK's but other markets as well, so how they handling other areas. But what would be options of that? You need to understand all those options available of that. Consolidation. Debt consolidation involves combining multiple debts into one, often with a lower interest rate. It can be repayment more manageable, but it's essential to avoid accumulating more debt after a consolidation. If anything, you do your own research to try to understand what's actually happening, right? So if it was 20%, if you were to find 6%, perhaps that would be different options there. But if anything, taking a look at some of your spending habits, addressing those, as that might be more worth taking a look. Perhaps down the line, over the years, you would become more productive, right? As individuals, most likely people would develop their skills. Would as time goes, they would become more productive. But either way, you need to understand and have that understanding yourself. Credit counseling. Credit counseling agencies can provide guidelines and on managing debt. They may offer debt management plans, which involve single monthly payments to the agency with uh, disburse payments to your creditors. I don't know, but there's options there. So, so you're gonna pay that agency. That's how it looks on the paper. I don't know. Again, so that means if there's another agency gonna have to be involved. So instead of you paying bank, you're gonna pay this agency. Which gonna pay bank? But again, I don't know. That seems like another middleman that is interested in getting involved in whatever is going on. But that's how it looks on the paper. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but there's options there. Savings, it's important to continue saving even if paying off debt. Having emergency fund can prevent you from going further into debt than expected expenses, right? Having a plan, right? Perhaps not entirely depending on percentage, right? If you're sitting a lot of cash and you're paying out 20%, perhaps it's worth considering. You need to understand all the options, right? If anything, this video would be to get you understanding and bring your awareness on what's actually happening. I not necessarily agree with this statement, right? It depends on your personal circumstances. Financial education. That's where everyone needs to begin. So that's where everyone needs to begin. And if anything, overall education. So self improvement and some of those areas where everyone needs to begin. Educate yourself on personal finance and responsibilities of credit use and if anything, in a responsible way. Understanding how credit works and then impact of not credit of don't worry about the credit, how finance works, how money works, not credit. Credit means you're gonna be borrowing money. Why you need to understand how to borrow money, to understand how money works, and if you can avoid borrowing, that's even better. Even now, I'm looking at some of the companies up there, top car companies up there, who is still manufacturing petrol or diesel engine cars, and those car companies to stay on top, they gonna be looking to access another 200 billion dollars, I believe, or so. They're gonna get more than that. So why are those companies gonna keep borrowing money? But with well, that's what I'm saying. Perhaps those companies need to address other issues, right? So once those car companies address other issues, what's happening around them, without being perhaps blind, those companies might have a lot of blind spots, right? Would that's what I'm saying. Some people might get it or where I'm coming from, but either way, that's my opinion. If anything, you need to understand how money works, not how to borrow money better. Regular monitoring. Keep a close eye on your financial situation. Regularly review your budget and track your progress in repaying debt if you have one, right? So especially high interest debt. Debt reduction strategies. Explore different strategies for reducing your debt, such as making extra payments, finding additional sources of income, and living with your or below your means. I don't know. So, if anything, right? So, so if you are a young adult, right? If someone would give you $50,000 euros pounds, right? If they would give you now, how fast would you lose that money without having proper systems in place to actually reinvest that money and generate interest on that money, right? So if you don't have proper systems, if you were to win a million, I don't know, lottery ticket, right? Would you be able to keep that money or would you waste that money, if anything? So that's where education comes into play, if anything. So, and having strategies on how to invest and how to make money work for you. So, if anything, something I'm going to be looking at within this channel and sharing some information of different systems and how to build those systems. Avoiding new debt. One of the most critical aspects of debt management is avoiding the accumulating of new debt or getting into a habit of spending more than you perhaps have access to, right? So if more than you actually earning or more money than you actually need to spend on what kind of car you're driving, right? So what's the maintenance, new wheels for your car, how much those cost, right? So engine oil, so, so perhaps cutting in some of those expenses where possible, right? So if there's popular saying living below your means, but that's not necessarily accurate. Depending, I would say, depending if you know what you're doing with the money, that perhaps would be a better way of looking at it. For people out there who are interested in learning more, I have published a book, and in this book I'm sharing a lot of information for people out there who are interested in learning more about livestock enterprise, where to begin your first business, and what information you need to know when venturing into livestock enterprise, and how to reach first milestone that will be from zero to first 10,000 euros, dollars, pounds, and how to achieve this milestone. I'm sharing a lot of examples in this book of other people who have done it successfully. So you can learn a lot from other people examples, as well as potentially those examples can save you a lot of money just based on other people's experience. So you not necessarily need to waste any resources, time, money in learning those lessons, which can be very expensive. You can find this in the description below, as well as Top Retailers has this book. Effective debt management can lead to reduced stress, improve financial stability, and ability to work towards your financial goals, such as savings for retirement, buying a home, or investing. If you find yourself overwhelmed with debt, consider seeking guidance of a financial advisor or well, I don't know. They would say, but those people might charge you for their time. So even though if you're looking to do business with any of those people, I would not necessarily recommend doing that myself. Spending more with money or speaking with a professional, but either way. Perhaps try save more money and earn more. If anything, perhaps that would be more optimal, as well as improve your education. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next one.